surrounding areas, you've tuned in to the Sunday edition of the Free Range Human Show of Choice, your daily dose of reality radio or internet, as it would be today. Hope everybody is doing fine out there. We're going to do a few things to get set up here. We're streaming live on our YouTube and Rumble and my personal Facebook page too, but for whatever reason, it sets up as friends only. We're about to change that. We're going to change this to public. We are currently experiencing somewhat of a Facebook ban. My big page, the one formerly known as Save Jackson, is in Facebook jail. I can't post pictures. I can't post pictures or go live from a big page. So I have to share from one of my other pages on my YouTube or my Rumble to said page, as I'm doing right now as we get set up here. We got a lot to talk about. I hate that. Hear me right now in the background there. All right. There we go. All right. So I got that shared. We're good to go. I don't think y'all could hear that, but I could hear myself live like a super echo, and it was driving me bat crap crazy. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about today. Tell you some of the topics here on the front end real quick, so hopefully you'll stay tuned. Hit share wherever you're watching at right now. Hit like, hit love, hit all that stuff. Hell, if you're really feeling generous, if you're watching on YouTube, do a super chat. Donate your boy a few bucks. I ain't too proud to beg, as they say. Hey, look, here's some of the topics we're going to talk about today. For the second time in the last year and a half, a JPD cruiser has been stolen by a mentally ill man. My personal opinion is it is the same man. I have not been able to confirm that yet. I am trying to confirm that, but I don't know for sure. We're going to look at that. We're going to discuss, they just filmed a new rap video, a bit of a Jacktown Sexy Red, just nasty, trap rap, just nasty. Now, look, it ain't my thing. If it's your thing, it is what it is. I ain't here to judge you. But they're right in the middle of Capitol Street, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess they did not have a permit to do so. But hey, that's neither here nor there. We're going to talk about a bit of the culture rot that has taken over Jackson, Mississippi. We're going to hit a few national topics. We're going to hit Fani Willis, Fulton County, Georgia. District Attorney Fani Willis will be allowed to stay on the Donald Trump case. Her boyfriend, Nathan Wade, is being kicked off. It just goes to show that the rule of law, in fact, does not apply to Black Democrats and or mutual enemies of Joe Biden's. So if Joe Biden don't like you, you can get away, or let me rephrase it. If you're fighting somebody Joe Biden doesn't like Hunter, like Donald Trump, the law does not apply to you. So we're going to talk about that. I got a couple cool St. Patty's Day throwback photos. Parades this weekend, big St. Patty's Day parade in Jackson, Mississippi. I got nothing negative to say. I'm going to be super positive about this. I got a couple old photos from 2001. If you haven't seen them on my social media, I'm going to show them in this video today. Pearl, Mississippi had a cop make a Hispanic man lick his piss up off the floor when he was arrested one day back on December 23rd. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to hit some more national stuff. An Ohio senior, high school senior, is being honored by the local American Legion after refusing to remove his American flag from his pickup truck as demanded by the local high school. Man, what a time to be alive when the American flag is not allowed to be flown because it may offend some people. That's their words, not mine. Also, you're going to meet a girl. She calls herself Meow. She identifies as a dog, not a cat. She's super confused. You're going to meet her. And we're going to close out with a question. I don't know if it's a question or as much as it is just a thought. We ended my show Friday with it. A Michigan high school mass shooter, Ethan Crumbley. Both of his parents have now been charged with involuntary manslaughter. They're both looking at 15 years in prison each because of their son's actions. I'm going to say, hey, man, can we not start doing that with some of these juvenile delinquents in Jackson, Mississippi? And I'm going to give you a few examples of specific incidents where I think the parents, in fact, should be charged with, at minimum, whatever this guy's parents are being charged with. So here we go. Let's get this thing started. Again, if you're watching on Rumble, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, do your boy a solid. Hit that share button. Send it to somebody on, oh yeah, we're on X as well. I always forget about X, but it's one of the true free speech platforms. And it's also one of the main reasons I believe that they've passed this TikTok law, or they're trying to pass this TikTok ban. It's got some language in there that will also allow them to force Elon Musk to sell Twitter. Now, does it say Elon and Twitter? No. But it says election interference. And they're already trying to say that Elon interfered in the 2022 midterms. You can thank all 4 of our Mississippi congressmen for that. If you're a TikTok fan, if you're a monetized creator on TikTok, if you're an artist whose music has been discovered on TikTok, won't be anymore if they finish off this law. You can thank Michael Guest, Mike Ezel, Benny Thompson. And I don't remember who the other one is. We got 4 of them here. 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat. Anytime they're all agreeing on something, you know we as the citizenry are getting fucked. There's the first F word on this Sunday. There's the first F word on this Sunday. Hey, look, shirts. Got to plug them if you want one. I got them. I got the black. I got the green. Parade's coming up Saturday. Got a very limited supply of the green ones left. You can get it at buyfafo.com. See it on the scroll on the bottom there, buyfafo.com. Got a few left. Let's jump in. Let's have some fun here. I think everybody in here, again, hit share, hit love, hit like, hit all that stuff. Send it to a friend. Send it to an enemy. Let's go. Here we go. Let me pull up the screen here. Boom, shaka, laka, boom. There we go. All right. Never fails. All right, here we go. This man right here is in custody after stealing a police cruiser. Man, you could think through your life, like, man, all the dumb things I can do. You know what I hadn't done yet? I hadn't stole a cop car. This guy has. He can add that to his list. And of course, you know, they're already trying to make excuses and say he was extremely mentally ill. And you know what? I mean, I don't know if I disagree or not. You got to be extremely mentally ill to steal a cop car. Here's a story from WLBT. A man is in custody after he stole a JPD cruiser. According to JPD, the incident happened around 2 a.m. Sunday on the 1220 block of Violet Street. It's only missing 1 letter to be called Violet Street, regarding a subject who suffers from, quote, extreme mental illness. When officers arrived at the scene, 25-year-old Trevin Bell jumped into an officer's patrol car and fled the scene. JPD says he was off his medication. Yeah, no kidding. Bell then drove the JPD cruiser to Martin Luther King Boulevard near Medgar Evers Boulevard, where he was stopped by police. There was no weapon in the vehicle. Man, Martin Luther King Boulevard and Medgar Evers Boulevard, 2 of the most dangerous streets in Jackson, actually intersect at one point. I mean, look, it ain't just in Jackson. It's all throughout the South. If there's a Martin Luther King Boulevard, it's the most dangerous place in that city, except Biloxi. Downtown Biloxi has a Martin Luther King Boulevard, and it's actually probably the safest street in Biloxi, in a twist of irony there. Great little bar over there by that the filling station. Love that spot. JPD says the police car has since been recovered and Bell is in custody. Well, what I want to do here is I want to jump in the Wayback Machine. We're going to get into the DeLorean. We're going to get this sumbitch up to 88 miles an hour. Trent Kelly, Lindsay, thank you. Trent Kelly's the 4th congressman. He ain't shit either. All 4 of them ain't shit. Let's see. We're going to jump into the DeLorean. We're going to go up to 88 miles an hour, and we're going to go all the way back to November of 2022. Where? Capitol Police investigating whether to file charges against a man who stole a JPD cruiser and ran from police. Let's see here. You know, we actually, I can't play the video. I don't have it set right. But it was this Jackson. The man who stole a JPD cruiser last night may still be charged, but that will come from another agency instead of JPD. The lead agency in the case, Capitol Police, initiated the police pursuit that led to the recovery of a stolen patrol vehicle. Quote, my officers observed that the stolen vehicle go by. They watched the cop car go by. At that point, my units got behind the vehicle. The vehicle did not stop, Capitol Police Chief Bo Lucky said. A pursuit then followed. It is my understanding the pursuit was pretty lengthy. Videos posted on social media showed a parade of blue lights cascading. I love when they use the word cascading down Capitol Street as the police chased a man who casually hopped into the JPD cruiser and sped off. JPD spokesperson Sam Brown didn't say how long the pursuit lasted before their cameras captured the aftermath on Woodrow Wilson Avenue. In fact, Brown didn't even call it a pursuit at all. JPD declined to release the man's name, saying that charges would not be filed against the man. Lucky said his department is still investigating whether to do so. At the end of the day, it was a mentally ill individual. You can see the cop car here ended up in a pothole. A pothole was its final resting place in Jackson. You can't see on that side, but you'll be able to see in one of these videos here in just a second. The excuse at the time was the man was mentally ill. Yep, there it is right there. You can see it all banged up. Yeah, again, the excuse at the time was the man was mentally ill. I'm efforting to find out if, in fact, it was the same character who stole the cop car last night. My gut reaction is there's a lot of mental illness in Jackson, but what are the odds of it being somebody different? I think if I'm a gambling man, I'm betting that our fella here was, in fact, the guy who stole the cop car last night in Jacktown. What y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Y'all think it was the same guy? Yay or nay? Same guy? Hey, I think it's a good time. Mind y'all about the stickers, right? I'm going to start smacking these on the back of all cop cars. I bet they press charges on me. You let me steal a cop car. You let me put a fuck around and find out Clay Edwards show sticker on a cop car. I bet they'll have my ass in jail quick and in a hurry. Chris says he don't think it's the same guy. Now, Chris is pretty plugged into Jackson. Maybe it is. Maybe it didn't. I say it is. We're getting a bunch of text here on my Twitter feed. Let's see if these are replies to the show. No, these are updates from some other stuff. Let's see here. All right, look, I want to jump into something else real quick. This, I'm gonna have to go in and go out. I have to make sure y'all hear the volume on this, so y'all bear with me 1 second. I got something for y'all. Throw that ass. How about this, man? It was filmed right here on Capitol Street in Jackson. When, I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. This is, I don't know who this is, to be honest. It doesn't matter who it is. It was filmed on Capitol Street. In an attempt to be the Jacktown Sexy Red, you'll be able to see the King Edward and stuff in the background here. Right out of sight to your left is the Mayflower Restaurant. And depending on your age, right behind them here to the right is the old University Pub, Mother's, the Joint, Gay Bar. I think it's called the Daiquiri Bar now. It's been 100 different things. The Federal Building's right in front of them. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Guess this was filmed on a Saturday or a Sunday downtown, probably, allegedly, without a permit. Let's check out some of the great music coming off the corner of Farish and Capitol Street. The once blues music capital of the world, Farish Street, Jackson, Mississippi, the home of the blues, Malaco Records. Let's listen to what's coming out of there now.
Hands in a circle like you bouncing on the deep. Put your hands in the air, bounce that ass, pussy cat, oh she lit. On my mom, like a honey pack up in this cognac. Hit the bottom, throw that ass in the sun.
Oh my God. I don't have any brain cells left. Sadly, it's produced by Jacktown's very own Hershey Black, who does not like Clay Edwards. It's kind of catchy. Hershey is a producer for Cash Money. I don't even know what the hell to say. But hey, that's Jacktown. That's the culture right that's going on in Jacktown. To each their own. If that's your thing. It ain't mine. But you know, the beat's catchy. The beat's catchy. My friends are messing with me right now for dancing in the text messages. I see y'all. I see y'all. You know, the only thing missing is she may need a Fafo hat. Maybe a Jacktown Sexy Red here needs a Fafo hat, maybe a sticker, maybe a tattoo. The city's lost, y'all. It ain't coming back. It's lost. It's gone. It ain't coming back. It ain't coming back. I mean, we're just trying to salvage what little bit's left, but if this is, was it Stevie Wonder? Which one I was saying? I believe the children are our future. The future's fucked if this is the future. Let them lead. Let them live the way. Let them live. Let them lead the way. I had it backwards. Either way. Screwed. Future screwed. Jump in front of it now. My buddy said, he goes, he said I had to leave for the duration of that song. So apparently there's been a boil water notice in Jackson. Because I've now had 2 people mention that in the last 5 minutes to me. You ain't gonna talk about the Brandon boil water notice? No. Boil water notices happen everywhere. Boil water notices happen absolutely everywhere. It's part of having water. When Brandon's water completely quits working and I can't flush my toilets, we'll talk about a Brandon boil water notice. When the governor ain't doing a press conference from Brandon, Mississippi, talking about a crisis of incompetence, we'll talk about Brandon's boil water notice. When the water plant out here hadn't shut down because you hired a bunch of diversity hires, they didn't know what the heck they were doing to run it, then we'll talk about Brandon's boil water notice. Until then, I drink bottled water anyway. Hell, I'm drinking one right now. I just need to be able to bathe in your water. That's really all. Flush my toilets and bathe. I ain't drinking the faucet water from nowhere. I drink warm water. I don't even use ice. I don't even have an ice maker in my house. I don't even, look, that's real talk. The only thing I drink cold is beer. And that comes out of the fridge. I don't like cold drinks. I ain't trying to spoil myself. When the bottom falls out and the world's come to a complete and utter collapse after the upcoming 2024 election, Clay Edwards ain't going to have to get used to drinking warm water. He's going to have already been doing it for the last 20 years. Thomas says, who drinks tap water anyway? Exactly. Weirdos. Yeah, all your water needs to go through a filter. I've seen some of them pipes, nasty. I don't care where they at. If the return poo-poo water and drinking water all comes from about the same place, I'm out on that. Hell no. Hell no. I ain't saying this bottled water is some magical spring water either. But I mean, at least I can see the light in it. There's no weird particles floating around in there. Where's that from? That's Ramey's bottled water. That's top notch, top flight security of the world, Craig. Good bottled water. Richard says straight boo-boo. It is. I mean, that's the thing. It's just straight boo-boo. I ain't about that life. Y'all got me messed up. I know y'all just looking for y'all so insecure about Jackson and all the problems Jackson has that anytime one of the other places stutter step just a little bit, y'all got to jump on it. Like, oh, but what about? I mean, hell, we can do what about with Jackson all day long. How many homicides we got now? Let's go to WLBT real quick here. It was 25 the other day. Let's see here. I'm clicking on the news thing. I've got it pulled up conveniently enough. Y'all know I keep it on the standby, waiting just to say hi. Did I stop? No, I just drove by like a drive-by in Jacktown. Let's see here. I got it pulled up right here. Let's see. Let me pull it up for you guys to see. I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. There it is. 25 homicides. 25 homicides in Jacktown. I've been talking about this a lot this year. I've been talking about this a whole lot this year. People are Clay, why do you always talk about Jackson? I want to show y'all something. This is WLBT.com. Let's run through this together. You just get on WLBT here. You know, I use WLBT because they're kind of the record. They're kind of the paper of record. It used to be the Clarion Ledger, but they're a joke. So, you know, WLBT, they got some good reporters over there. I don't always agree with them, but they're on top of it. CJ LeMasters, Anthony Warren, several others over there. I like those guys. I respect them. You click right here on menu. There's a little tab here that says crime. You click on crime. What are your options there? You have Metro crime, Jackson homicides, Jackson crime, and Mississippi crime. You don't have Pearl crime, Brandon crime, Clinton crime, Byram crime, Ridgeland crime, Madison crime. You don't have any of those. Flowwood crime. You just have Jackson. You also have specifically Jackson homicides. When you click there, 25. Now let's look. Let's see what this is compared to last year. You know, again, I do this every time I do one of these live streams. Last year, Jackson ended with 118 homicides. Actually, going down from 138 the previous year. So the same day in history, last year, we're one day off here. On March 26, 2023, Jackson had 26 homicides. Assuming nobody takes Sunday Funday to the next level today, and we can end the day without any murder in Jackson, we're only one behind. And then again, all it takes is one murder in Jackson because somebody couldn't handle their Sunday Funday liquor, and somebody shoots somebody, or however they choose to end them. So we're tracking last year's number of 118. So let's see. You know, I know that CJ LeMasters over at WLBT actually did a thing early in January that said Brandon per capita was deadlier than Jackson with its 3 homicides. Well, that didn't last long, did it? That did not last long. Let's see here. Let's look at some of your comments here real quick. Let me take that off there. Chris says, most, if not all, water treatment plants are coming in just about all the states. 99% of them need to replace older water pipes. But, you know, but Chris, again, man, theirs all didn't go out completely because of a crisis of incompetence. And that's the governor's words, not mine. I mean, like, I ain't a Tate Reeves cheerleader. We've made that clear here before. That's the governor's words. My buddy, Mr. 601 Breacher here says 25 murders in less than 90 days. Congrats, Jackson. You have a higher chance of being murdered than you do graduating college. Yeah. Yep. You know, I don't read replies between you guys and let y'all have that. Let's see here. We're moving on along. It's Sunday. We got NASCAR on in the background. I'm kind of double tasking here. Don't forget, please support your boy. Go to buyfafo.com. You can get your green shirt there coming up for the St. Patty's Day parade this weekend. You can get your black one. Plenty of them are in stock. Don't forget, we got hats too. Obviously. Got them right here. Every purchase comes with a free sticker. And well, last but not least, I'm going to move on to the next thing. You got your flags. You got a boat, you're going to be out on Flag Island, going to be out on the reservoir. You got a gym, got a shop, got anything you want to hang a flag in, let them know that you about that life. FAFO flags are in stock. I got 20 of them, fresh off the boat. Get you one. Go to buyfafo.com. All right. I don't want to bog this down with ads. I'm having fun on a Sunday. How about this one more again? I ain't gonna play it. That nasty language probably gonna get me. He's probably gonna get all these videos deleted anyway. Let's jump into some national stuff here. Friday, while we were live with Sean Yurkaron on the Clay Edwards Show, top of the 8 a.m. hour, news broke. Judge rules DA can stay on Trump Georgia case with ex-boyfriend stepping down. This is from the New York Times. I ain't gonna get into reading all of it. Y'all already know. It's a couple days old. What it shows, the fact that Fani Willis is allowed to stay on the Trump RICO Georgia case, is that as long as you're a black Democrat or you share a mutual enemy with Democrats and Joe Biden, the rule of law does in fact not apply to you. Does not. And I'm telling you, I think they're going to have a hard time finding a jury that agrees with this nonsense. I think Fani's career is shot. Can't nobody take this woman serious. She lied. She perjured herself not once but twice on the stand. You know, her and Nathan Wade's relationship aside, she straight lied under oath. Any other lawyer would be disbarred and thrown in jail for lying. Her lawyer should be thrown in jail too. He knew she was lying and still represented her after she lied. She lied about two different things. They proved that her and Nathan Wade were having an affair. They made him step down. And they were having an affair that predated this case. So they made him step down. She lied under oath also about going to the White House. There's documents, there's Secret Service sign-in slips. Everybody that goes to the White House, with the exception of family, has to do a background check on every visit. And the Secret Service decides if you get to go in the White House. The only people who get to go in the White House based on facial recognition, and that's software too, not, oh, hey, I know him, is the family. That's also magically how a little bit of that white powder got snuck into the White House. Let y'all wonder who brought that in. Family. Hunter. What do we like to do here in the South a lot? Hunt. Add an ER to the end of that. Add an ER to the end of that. So I think Fani's going to have a hard time getting a jury, because something I've noticed about this is the more they treat Donald Trump like he's a black man in the 1960s, the more black men in the 2020s seem to like Donald Trump. Now, I ain't saying all, but an overwhelming majority of black women just do not like white men. They don't like white Republican men. If it's a majority all black female jury, it's going to be tough. But you get some black men on there, with the exception of Chris here. I think it ain't gonna look good for Trump. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. If you get some black men on there, it looks good for Trump. If not, it's looking bad for Trump. What does Chris say? What do you think about President Trump calling for a bloodbath if he gets the election? Oh, there should be a bloodbath. 100% agree. I think Atlanta should be taken over, just like Jackson. I think any of these cities like Atlanta and Jackson that are super Democrat controlled need to be taken over by the federal government or by the states that they're in, and to get some law and order in place. Atlanta, Jackson should both be taken over by the National Guard, the Insurrection Act put into place. They're Democrat hellholes. That's Clay's opinion. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, y'all don't have to like me. I won't be a part of it. FBI, if you're watching now, I ain't gonna be there. I'm just saying, if they find Trump guilty and try to walk him off, it's gonna be a bad day in Atlanta. It's gonna be a bad day in Atlanta, Georgia. The devil gonna come down to Georgia if they put Trump in handcuffs. That's fact, Jack. It's gonna be a bad day in Georgia, especially for her. All right, moving along. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's have a little fun. How about we? Let's take it back to 2001. Let's jump back in that DeLorean, 88 miles an hour, right down to I-55, back to Jackson, 2001. How about, who remembers the parade back in the day? Shout out to my friend Kristen Smith. She sent me these pictures. Man, good old days back then. You got Martin's right here on the right. That's where the party's going to be. If you're going to the parade Saturday, the party's going to be at Martin's, the after party. You got the Mustache Band, the greatest 90s country band out there playing live. Going to be a good time. The old Bancorp South building there. That wall before they put that Jackson mural on it. Damn. You ever just see people in pictures like this and wonder where are they now? Oh, Tits McGee here at now. This is like it's on Capitol Street. I see green hair over here. This looks like every white person I knew in 2001. Where's that? Is that the back street? Is that Commerce? Yeah, there's railroad tracks there. That's Commerce Street there. The floats were not up to quite the same standard they are now in 2001. You just kind of use the same one every year. So Richard says those people are over 40 now. You're correct, my friend. They are definitely over 40 now. Let's see. Oh, that's right there. That's the corner of Pearl and State. There's the Budweiser truck before they went gay. Man, it used to be, this is where the hell was raised right here. Like if you wanted to see a fight, if you wanted to see some tits, you wanted to see it all. This is where all of it, this is where South Jackson and Rankin County intersected right here. Right there at Pearl, that was it. That was the spot. I ain't been to the parade in 10 years. I don't know if it is anymore or not. But that right there was the spot. That's good stuff. Here's two more pictures. I put them down here. Just another picture from over there on that back road. How about that? Somebody had a Talladega edition Pontiac Grand Prix. Tell me you're a virgin without telling me you're a virgin. Good old days there, man. Good old days. I posted the same thing to my Instagram. The black people asked, where are the black people? Oh no. Where were y'all? You missed your wake-up call? I don't know. Where were you at? All right. Moving along. I'm trying to get all this in an hour. Moving along here. Let's do a quick, let me show you one thing real quick before we go. If you, hey, guys, are you suffering from fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, sleep disturbances, lack of morning wood, any of that stuff, erectile dysfunction? Check out Men's Health in Mississippi. If you'll text my name, all caps, Clay, to 601-327-8550. 601-327-8550. Just text Clay. You're going to get a free testosterone check. Free. That's it right there. You see it? My face, the word free. Text my name, 601-327-8550 to Men's Health in Mississippi. and get that free testosterone screening. All right. Now, a lot of y'all have talked about this. Let me get this queued up properly here because I want to make sure I play the thing. I want to give y'all the just y'all feel like this deserves. We're going to play the whole WLBT. Let me mute it while the ad runs here. Pearl Cop, it came out back on December 23rd. Back on December 23rd, arrested a man and made him pee. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, he wouldn't let the man use the restroom. He was in like the booking room, interview room, whatever it is, there at Pearl PD. I've never been arrested in Rankin County, thank God. He wouldn't let the man out to pee. So the man peed on the floor. And then he made the man not once, but twice lick his own pee up off the floor. And then he was smart enough, full sarcasm mode, to pull his camera out and film his phone out and film the guy doing it, like to brag about it, to be able to show people. All right. So I don't add any extra sauce to it. I'm going to let WLBT tell you the story, and then I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Sorry, I muted it.
Pleads guilty in federal court after prosecutors say he arrested someone and made them drink their own urine.
Yeah, tonight the city is responding to this incident, and 3 News Side's Nathan Lee joins us now with more information. Nathan?
That's right. Michael Christian Green is the former parole police officer who just pled guilty to the deprivation of civil rights. This comes after an internal and federal investigation in the matter. City of Pearl officials and residents speak out after finding out about this incident. Michael Green was a member of the Pearl Police Department for around 6 months up until the incident on December 23rd. According to documents, it started when Green was dispatched to a family disturbance call at the Sam's Club in Pearl. Green would arrest the victim as a result of the disturbance. Records show Green then brought the victim to the Pearl Police Department and placed him in a holding cell. That is when the victim asked to use the bathroom, but Green did not respond. Court documents state the victim then urinated in the corner of the cell, and security camera footage would show Green cursing and demanding him to lick up his urine. Pearl Mayor talks about why the city waited to discuss this incident, even though they had already sent footage to the FBI.
When you have a video recording of an incident occurring, however, you had to document witness statements and things of that nature, or anything else that may have surrounded the incident itself. So as in any investigation, you don't want to compromise it. As it was unsealed yesterday, then it became public knowledge, and we didn't want to compromise the integrity of it.
One woman living in Pearl believes this incident and others can cause fear when asking for help from law enforcement.
That's kind of like fearful, you know. You don't know what to expect because they going beyond the expectation of what things should be like in any given situation, you know. So yeah, that puts a lot of fear in people, you know, and it makes it hard to reach out because there's a lack of trust. You don't know who you could trust.
Attorney on the case, Candace Gregory, is currently reviewing the Pearl Police Department.
All right, so look, that's nasty. It's just nasty. I mean, look, there ain't a bigger supporter of law enforcement and effing around and finding out than I am. But I got to call a spade a spade. I ain't gonna sit here and stick my head in the sand and tell y'all, oh yeah, but I mean, I'm sure the guy deserved it. No, he didn't. It was a bad deal. They fired him immediately. If y'all ever heard me talk about restaurant reviews and business reviews, I hate online reviews. I hate them because I always say, you know, everybody makes mistakes. How do you handle a mistake? How do you handle a problem? That's how I judge you on. Not if mistakes don't happen. Nowhere's perfect. Mistakes happen everywhere. Frankly, I don't trust a place that has nothing but 5-star reviews. I think something fishy about that. So we're using that same analogy here. How does a police department handle something when it goes awry? This happened on December 23rd. He was fired by December 27th with Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in the middle there. You know what I mean? to get anything done that quick on by a municipality, it says a whole lot about that municipality and how they handle stuff. It wasn't the criminal that effed around and found out here. It was the cop who effed around and found out. And he's pled guilty to federal charges, looking at up to a year in prison. Now, y'all may or may not agree with me on this. I don't think we should be housing somebody for a year in prison for making somebody lick up pee-pee. I think the public embarrassment, I think losing his career, he'll never be a cop again. I think the fallout from it is probably punishment enough. And he's going to have, it's a misdemeanor, not a felony, but he'll probably have that he'll have a federal charge on his record forever. Maybe probation, maybe even a little house arrest. We don't need to, taxpayers don't need to be flipping the bill for a cop apologize. Not a I'm sorry, I was reading somebody's comment about for a cop forcing somebody to lick pee off the floor. It's nasty. It's terrible. The guy also could have said, no, I ain't licking shit. That's what he should have said. But I understand he's under duress. He's under fear. He was a Hispanic man. I don't even know if he speaks English. I don't know any of that. Civil rights violation. I ain't caping for the cop here. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if the punishment fits the crime to have to go spend a year in jail. Now, this is the same cop, I do believe. I can't confirm. I have to go back and watch the video, but I've had more than one people bring it to my attention. I had a video sent to me by one of my good friends and one of my good sources, films a lot of stuff, sends me a lot of stuff. There was a murder right outside of Jackson gas station, believe it or not, a year or so ago. And the guy who got murdered was actually the same guy who murdered the fellow that owned Top Dollar Pawn there in Jackson. One of my buddies was filming the aftermath of that. It was right there at the interstate on-ramp at Northside Drive, heading on to 55 South, right in front of the old Hooters. He had come up behind it, pulls over in the old Hooters parking lot, and he's filming the aftermath. And a couple of cops come over to him and tell him he can't film. And he's like, I most certainly can film. I'm not within X amount of feet from you. I'm not hindering you from doing your job. None of that. That same cop, not being aware of the Constitution, at least I think it's the same cop. I'm not ready to 100% confirm, but I'm pretty positive he came from JPD too. It's how many white cops are at JPD? It's easy to figure it out with that bowl cut and all that stuff. I don't even know. I don't know the guy. Never met him before, to the best of my knowledge. He tried to tell my friend that he couldn't film. So yeah, I've always thought he was a little off from the aftermath of that. And then seeing this, I didn't know he was a Pearl cop. And this isn't to defend anybody or take up for anybody, but I just want to throw this out there as far as like the leadership over at Pearl Police. New police chief Nick McClendon was not there when this happened. He just took over last week. I was at his swearing in. Former police chief Dean Scott was in the hospital when this happened, dealing with some medical issues. Now, that's no excuse. You should absolutely know not to make somebody lick pee off the floor. But I don't want to blame this on poor leadership or anything else of that nature. Yeah, somebody just texted in and said that was 100% the same cop. Thought so. Not the bad decision maker. Bad decision maker. All right. So look, that's my thoughts on it. I don't have a long, in-depth thing. We've covered it. I've had people tagging me talking about, why ain't you talked about this? I broke the news live before anybody else. I got it directly from Pearl. I was on the radio. I can't stop when I'm on the radio and make a TikTok video. I got to finish the radio show, get the podcast up, do all that. Then I post a video, and then I made a video and posted it everywhere. I don't know what y'all want from me. How about look? How about look before you accuse me of not posting about something? Here's another story that I find interesting. We're going to shift gears. We're going to go back national for a minute here. Kind of a rapid fire Sunday. I like this one. A local American Legion up in Ohio honors a high school senior for standing up for his beliefs. His high school wanted to force him to take his American flag off the back of his pickup truck in the parking lot. Said it may be offensive to others. Well, what about those Black Lives Matter, trans flags, and rainbow flags? You don't think those are offensive to others? Here's a story from WLBT.
Told you we were going to keep checking in on this story, and here we go. The East Central High School student who refused to take the American flag off his truck when the school told him to is now being honored by the American Legion for standing up for what he believes is right. Chancellor Wynne first shared this story with you right here on Friday. Now Chance joins us live with a closer look at tonight's ceremony.
Trisha, we are live here at the American Legion in Harrison because it was actually right here in front of this Purple Heart Memorial where East Central High School senior Cameron Blasek was honored for his patriotism and his courage. It's now been 6 days since East Central High School told him to take down the American flag just for them to change their minds the next day. But Blasek says that he never had any intentions of removing the American flag from his truck.
Hell yeah, I'm an American. I like his hat there is a Natural Light knockoff, says local boy. I like that.
That's East Central High School senior Cameron Blasek. Wednesday evening, veterans gathered outside of the American Legion in Harrison to honor Blasek with the Red, White, and Blue Award, along with $3,000 for his patriotism and courage.
All I ever wanted in the first place was just to fly American flag on the back of my truck. I didn't want anything more or less than that.
Last Thursday, school officials told Blasek to remove the American flag that he flies behind his truck.
They told me that if I didn't take it down, it could be seen as offensive to other students, and other students could fly more offensive flags.
Less than 24 hours later, the school changed their mind, sending out a letter to parents and students, which reads in part, quote, "After careful consideration and in recognition of the importance of the U.S. flag as a symbol of unity and national identity, I am pleased to inform you that we are allowing the display of the U.S. flag."
Now, he's pleased to inform us that they're going to allow kids to fly the American flag.
By students in the East Central High School parking lot. Blasek says this week, school administrators haven't addressed him directly about it, but he tells me he was never going to take down his American flag.
That's a symbol of unity in this country. I think that's something that, everybody can come together on, no matter where you come from, how you look, or who you are. I think that's something that everybody should be able to unite on.
United States Army veteran Jean Wilson was at Blasek's ceremony Wednesday, and she says she's proud of Blasek for standing up for his rights and his beliefs.
The American flag means a lot to myself and my entire family. We have many who served in the military, defending our country. For people have the right to.
Woosah. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I used to be free. I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me, and I proudly stand up. Y'all get the point. You know the rest. The audacity of these cucks to try to tell a young student that he can't fly the American flag, the very American flag that flies on a flagpole, or supposed to fly on a flagpole in front of every school. No, sir, you can't fly that on your car. Something more offensive may pop up. Well, if you're offended by the American flag, if y'all got kids watching, hold your ears, fuck you. This is the uncensored Clay Edwards Show. If the American flag offends you, leave. Yeah, I got another one. If you thought the American flag was offensive, introduce you to the FAFO flag. That's next. I mean, what did they think was going to trigger it? What's more offensive? I mean, if you're offended by the American flag, what is your reactionary flag? The swastika? The trans flag? The rainbow warrior flag? Those are sexual preferences and evils. This is America. It is the flag of our country. If you're offended by it, leave this bastard. I keep hearing, black and brown people keep telling me how bad America is. How bad America is, how racist America is. But I look down at that border as people are fleeing across that some bitch as fast as they can get in here. I don't see no white immigrants coming across that southern border. It's all black and brown coming across that southern border to the most racist country in the world. If it's so bad, why do y'all keep coming here? That's a serious question. Serious question. If it's so bad here, why do y'all keep coming? Shut up about it already. Woosah. Kudos to that kid for standing up. See if I can't find his mailing address. I'm going to send him a hat, a shirt, a flag, a sticker, the whole 9 yards. Kudos to that kid. I like it. I like it. We talked about this on the show Friday, but I just had to rehash it. Had to rehash it. Let's see here. I was going to go over the story about the girl that thinks she's a dog, but we're running short on time. I just don't want to entertain it. We did it Friday. I'll show y'all real quick for shits and giggles, though. For shits and giggles. Here's the girl, calls herself Meow. Meow. But yet she thinks she's a dog. I'm going to drop the link to this in the comments. Y'all can go read it. It's entertaining at most, at worst. Of course, I mean, she's definitely a Joe Biden supporter. Because, Trump supporters are not crazy. All right. Shifting gears. We're going to bring it back home. It's a national story, but we're going to bring it back home. We closed our show with this Friday. Me and Sean were discussing this. You can go back and listen to me and him, but we waited to the end of the show when I should have done it at the beginning because the phone lines and text lines blew up. There was a mass shooting in Michigan in November of 21, I believe. Ethan Crumbly killed 4 teenagers, fellow students, and injured another 7 people. I'm not sure of their age or, teachers, students or whatever, but 4 killed, 7 more shot. His parents were just found guilty, his mom last month and his dad Friday or Thursday, of culpable negligence manslaughter, basically, involuntary manslaughter. And both of them are looking at 15 years in prison because they knew he had a problem of a history of mental instability, of problems. And they still was either bought him a gun or he had access to one of their guns. Something. Basically, they're going to jail because of bad parenting. I was like, okay, hey, look, I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of putting habitually bad kids' parents in jail. There's a law passing around up in North Mississippi that they may start doing that up there. The police chief or sheriff said he was going to start arresting some parents of juveniles, people under 18. Hey, I'm all for it. I made a video about it. I'm on record, so I'm going to keep that energy. But how about, let's go back and let's talk about a specific incident here in Jackson. 3 juvenile delinquents broke out of the Henley Young Detention Center a couple months, last month, I think. They stole a vehicle in the parking lot. The next day, they carjacked at gunpoint, I want to say it was a woman in a white van in Jackson. Then they got down somewhere else and carjacked somebody else at gunpoint. Then wait. Hold on. They carjacked the person in Jackson. They got down to Adams County, Natchez. They saw a lady walking out of a church, a little old church lady, just walking out to her car, minding her own business, had a Bible in one hand and a Constitution in the other. And what do? They tried to rob her for her phone. She goes, no, you can't have my phone. They said, yes, ma'am, we can. They shot her. Then they stole her phone and her car. They're on a run for a couple days. finally get them back. One of those kids, now let's go back to why they were in juvenile detention to begin with. One was in there for capital murder. He carjacked somebody and killed them. The other two were in there for carjacking. They had not killed anybody. Now, can I not, and oh, hey, by the way, they had all three tried to escape, or not tried to, they did escape the same facility no less than a month prior to this. So these are just hellions. The world's going to be better off without any of them on it. I mean, they're shot, they're ruined, there ain't no coming back. Jesus can't save these guys. Should their parents be charged with something because of their behavior? Clay Edwards says yes. I don't think it should be a manslaughter. I think it should be whatever their kids are charged with, they should be charged with. Like, there's got to be a limit. Now, every now and then, somebody with complete mental illness is born into the family, and no matter what you do, you can't get them right. But as long as you can prove you went down a path of trying everything you could to get them right, I don't think you should be charged with anything. I don't care what they do. As bad as it may be, as horrific as it may be. You can't hold somebody's hand 24/7. I get that. But if you're at the first time they get in trouble, or the second time they get in trouble, or the third time they get in trouble, and you ain't done the things you need to do, then you need to pay the consequences and repercussions of those actions. You need to suffer the consequences and repercussions of their actions. It ain't that hard to be a good parent. It just didn't. More people than not are good parents. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a civilized society at all if that was the case. So yes, I think the parents should suffer some consequences and repercussions. Michael says accessory. Yeah, I mean something. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think you would have to do this too much either. I think you make a couple examples out of some folks. Word travels real fast. I hate to say it again. I'm going to plug it. I'm going to say it anyway. Word travels real fast. Hey, man, these folks ain't fucking around. Folks is finding out. You start beating your children, again, publicly and privately, as Cat Williams would say, the attitude's going to start changing real quick. But I just circling back to the beginning of the story here, those folks was white. They had no problem charging those folks. They was white, and we all supposed to just say, oh, yeah, man, hell yeah, get them. I want to see that happen to some. I want to see if these DAs got the same energy to do that to some black parents in the hood whose kids are out here running around, murdering each other. Highest crime rates, highest murder rates, highest gun violence rates in the country in places like Jackson, Mississippi, Detroit, Michigan, New Orleans, Louisiana, Memphis, Tennessee. Democrats love to talk about the root cause. Let's go to the root of the problem. And that's these single parent households in inner cities where all this real violence is happening and popping off. Let's get to the root. Let's get to the root cause and start arresting the people that keep having kids as nothing more than a way to get an expanded welfare check. People who keep having kids, who keep laying down, spreading their legs, knowing damn well they ain't got zero intentions of being with the father. And the spawn they create is going to wreak havoc on the community because they don't have any intentions on being good parents. Now, I'm not singling out every single mom out there. Y'all know I'm not. If you're a good single mom, good single parent, you're out there busting your ass, doing everything right, I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to the ones whose babies get gunned down in the streets because they selling dope, doing whatever, and they run out there screaming, my baby, my baby. He didn't do nothing. Your baby did something. You know, 90% of these crimes in these inner cities, this gun violence crime, I had a judge tell me one time, he goes, Clay, it's really a 2-for-1. You get You get a dead bad guy, and you get a bad guy in jail. And that's just facts. Rarely, unless they accidentally kill the wrong person, like at Jackson gas stations when they're doing drive-by shootings, or in neighborhoods when they're doing drive-by shootings and they shoot a 13-year-old girl that's asleep in her bed like they did in Jackson, Mississippi last week. Rarely are these victims innocent. They were tied up in that same life of crime. No different than the La Cosa Nostra murders of the 1970s and 80s. Get your shit together, people. Start holding your kids accountable. I ain't never going to stop talking about it. As long as I got a microphone and a breath and a phone connection and some internet, I'm going to keep talking about it. Yeah, do things happen out in the suburbs? Absolutely. There's bad parents out here too. Just a lot more of them in places like Jackson, Baton Rouge, Birmingham, Memphis, Shreveport, Louisiana, Chicago, Memphis, New York. God, we ain't even talked about the West Coast. Y'all tune into my radio show tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. 103.9 FM WYAB. We'll rehash some of these topics. We'll hit some new stuff that I didn't cover today. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms. Search @SaveJXN is my handle on just about everything. If you're watching live on Rumble, we appreciate you. Trying to build that up. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. Facebook, wherever. X.com. Holler at your boy. Be sure to support these advertisers on these radio shows, these platforms, all that stuff. They help make this possible. Shout out to Ricky, giving us a shout out at WYAB. Hey, look, and Chris Williams. I don't have to agree with Chris, but I love that Chris engages. He listens to the radio shows, whether it's mine, Kim Wade, whoever else. He gets on, he watches these things online. So we can learn a lot from guys like Chris. He don't agree with a lot of the stuff that I say, but he watches because he wants to engage. And there's things that him and I agree on. So I dig that. So, I mean, he's going round and round with y'all here in the comments on stuff. He ain't a bad guy. Chris is a good dude. He's a good dude that gets up every day and goes to work. I don't know why he's hard-headed, and continues to vote Democrat, but hey, to each his own. He's a good dude. So y'all try to take it too hard on Chris there. All right. That's it, man. I'm going to get out. I'm going to watch the end of this NASCAR race, watch a little salty cracker, get ready for the radio show tomorrow. Stay blessed. Again, please support me. Support these, support what I do. Buy these things I sell. These flags, these hats, these shirts. Goes a long, long way keeping this mission alive here. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's also true. Go to buyfafo.com. St. Patty's Parade's coming up this Saturday. Get the Mississippi MAGA shirt. Trigger a liberal. Let them see you wearing that in public. They're going to be so mad. You're going to love it. You're going to be able to lick them salty tears right off their cheeks. Y'all stay blessed. I'm Clay Edwards.